Hi, my name is Lynn Schnebley, and I'm going to discuss why I think there should be a dual presidency of both male and female, and who my picks were for the vice presidency. These are things that I put out going on, well, let's see, for Hillary Clinton, it was going on a little bit more than December of 2016. No, December of 2020, excuse me. As well as, yes, was it 2020 or 2019? I'll put the link for the video that I put into there, as well as who should be the vice president pick, whom I would give for President Trump. Now, I'm Lynn Schnebley. I am the ambassador for heavens and creating, protecting goddesses and archangels over life. I had to go with that title, having reached out to clergy for all these years about using my documents so that they could bring together global repentance and let everything actually come out. Little did I know that the Christian church was actually a part of the Thracian dragon belief system, and this is one of the reasons why my cases and who I am is one of the reasons why President Biden has said, actually the reason why President Biden has said, God save the Queen last year, because of what I was going through, and I needed to get this information out. And two, the gaffe that he had during his interview of referring to President Trump as his vice president, as well as Mr. Putin in lieu of Mr. Zelensky. Now it gets more interesting. Why should there be a male and a female president? Because the original Adam is not being properly translated by Semitic-speaking people or by the church. The original Adam is both male and female and is then separated. That's the original Adam. And in fact, when you go into Genesis 5, it says, and God called them Adam. There is no difference. And as for the Isha, Isha is related to the Isha of India, as Hinduism predating India, which is the great protectress goddess, as well as agriculture. And the original Isis, which was also Iset, which is all related to the Hurrian wife, which was Aset or Ashet. So there is an awful lot of, well, since the Sea People and beforehand, there's been a lot of lying because they took over territories that wasn't theirs. So coming back to this, Adam had his sister removed from his side, Achet, his sister. We'll just leave it at that. So if Adam must be male and female, and by the way, I also have online that Sarah's child with God was children with God, which she says later, children, and there was a male and a female child. So there is a lot of male and female being properly discussed in the Bible that the Roman and Semitic are not looking into. Now, let's move forward with this. Both Mr. Trump and the Clintons had been friends. Both of their daughters had to marry men whose fathers had gone to jail within a year of each other. And they were Jewish. Now, so we're just putting it out there. There is an interesting dance going on. That's all I'm saying. There's an interesting dance that has been going on. But coming back to who is capable of ruling, there is a stupendously huge job that needs to occur in order to have global peace, as well as the Teshuvah right here, and how this is related to Tishba. It's too big of a job for one person. And men, as you will see in my work and as I move forward, are not qualified in God's eyes to represent women. It doesn't happen. They just don't. and they've never been able to. And it was not God's intention that they do this, because God's intention in Genesis, is it 3:16? I can't remember which one it was. It doesn't say he will rule over her. The bee has only been interpreted in Christianity or within the Greek version as ruling over. That bee never meant rule over. It ruled in, or ruled with, or ruled at, but probably with, because he had to leave his family behind and live with her family. It was an extended female matrilocal pod, and he had to live within her family structure. So if he had to leave his family structure, he had to have certain rights. There you go. So he ruled with her, never over her. And it's her job, not his job. It's her seed. She brings agriculture. She brings knowing right from wrong. And it doesn't say, it actually says the word Nu or Noah, that she stole from their tree. She took the fruit from their tree, the tree of knowing right from wrong. So there's an entirely different conversation going on, and I'm sorry I'm digressing, but I'm trying to explain why there needs to be a woman in there. And there should be a man in there. Now, for the vice presidential picks, I have Tim Scott. And I've had Tim Scott ever since the election results of 2020. I had to wait until after the election results because I can't go around replacing the vice president if the vice president is intact. You can't overthrow. 2, I picked Tulsi Gabbard to be the vice president with Hillary Clinton. And you're saying, oh my God, they do not get along. I'm here. There are reasons for both Tim Scott and Tulsi Gabbard. And I've put it into videos even before this, and these things were accepted. Tim Scott brings a lot more integrity. He brings a real connection to average people, single moms, a respect for the military, a deep respect for God. Yeah. And so does Tulsi Gabbard. Both of them have inputs that need to happen with education. You know, it sounds good on paper to have just the states or to just have the parochial schools or whatever look over education. But the problem is that you cannot build continuity unless there is some sort of national discourse and story. You still require this, and you still require to know that there's accountability within the education system. So I'll just leave it there. I believe Mr. Biden should stay on because the job moving forward is such a huge job. My offer that was taken up with the Toshiba was that, all right, because of the 5 eyes and because they spied on me, as well as numerous other prophecies that are sitting in the Bible, Australia, which only has 26 million people in it, and is the 4th or 5th largest country in the world, and only 26 million people. That's insane. As well as we cannot continue to have the 5 eyes. That's just not acceptable. Asia needs land. They need hope. And I'll go into this at a later date. But they do. And we may not have the 5 eyes. So if we don't have the 5 eyes, and we can't afford to always be looking after these things, well then, and we cannot cyberstalk our whistleblowers, which is what happened to me, they'll never stand. And on top of that, they should not be allowed to do this. We are the dragon. We have the dragon, we have the first beast, the second beast, and the third beast, all in the United States. We don't have rights in this regard. And I will go into that some more, and have already. bringing them over, bringing Canada, and by the way, the Union of North America, or I should say the political kind of market of North America, that deal was supposed to be signed by 2005. So this is not that out of the ordinary. And then England will come. They will be a part of us. Because right this minute, the United States and England sleep in the same bed, and they've been doing it for a long time. All right. So we have temporarily, only on a temporary basis, I want to keep Mr. Biden, have President Trump, and have a President Clinton. And all of those people there, because the Toshiba means we have to be able to out everything we've known. And these three people are crucial. They're looking after your souls and your environment. Now, if we bring these groups in, we're also going to negotiate a deal for Africa and for those African Americans that want to pick up that deal in Africa. For those who want to. We will negotiate a deal for South America, and we will negotiate, if we bring that property, if we bring these people over, and if the Asian belt gets to keep Australia, then we can negotiate with the Russians that they get certain Slavic areas throughout Europe. And this is all biblically prophesied, by the way. And it's not a bad prophecy. It's a good prophecy. As well as the Russians would have to give up some of their northeastern territory to that same Asian belt. And this has to do with equity for Asia. Asia did not go marching around the globe taking over things. But they are now, because they are terribly short of hope and of necessary land and resources. Something that 26 million people do not need an entire continent. That is not Christian. It's not of heaven. It's and then Canada has 38 million. No, this is unacceptable. And on top of that, we are being called to look after everyone in our surrounding areas, including Jamaica and the Bahamas and all these areas, because they don't have any place to go to. There's just us. Anyway, I will put my list of videos at the bottom of in the wherever you put the list of videos, the notes of different things that you can be looking at. And they really wished I could have done this a long time ago. And I wish I could have too. Because I think my life has been a whole lot more difficult than theirs. I told President Trump to take the hit. I told him years ago that he was going to have to take this hit. And by the way, while he was president, he did not do the things that everybody claimed he was doing. He was innocent. And during his presidency, as far as we know, he did not sleep all over the place and have strange people go marching into the White House on uncanny hours of the day. As an elected politician, President Trump was not sleeping all over the place. And he didn't get you into crazy wars, which is what my records will show you that the Bushes did, and they used my work. Be very careful the way you judge him. All right. Namaste. God bless. Oh.